I'm Patrick.
I'm Will.
I'm Nick.
And this is Chris. And we are Guys with Issues. And this is issue. Stop it. I have it turned all the way down.
Issue stop it, folks. Hey, you heard it here first.
It's issue 9, Across the Edge of the Spiderverse. We're talking about the Edge of the Spiderverse today, comic series, 2014, inspired the Into the Spiderverse movie and the movie that just came out. Not when you're listening, you faithful listener, but whenever this finally airs. We also went to go see Across the Spiderverse, the sequel to the excellent movie Into the Spiderverse. We all really enjoyed that. We all really enjoyed the sequel. Spoilers.
We all enjoyed part 1.
So,
And some of us didn't know that it was part 1.
the voice that you're
idea.
hearing is our first official guest on the podcast. Nick, you want me to say the last name? You don't need a last name.
Oh, no, it's like Cher,
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Right.
So,
He is just
and
Just
Nick,
No, last name is actually Fourbanger.
Nick Fourbanger.
Nico Fourbanger.
Gotta
Like
get it
and
right.
subscribe.
Hit that bell.
Hit that bell. You certified YouTube girl guy.
Nice.
Thanks for going to see a movie with us. Hopefully reading all of the comics.
Oh, no,
Did you get them all read?
Yeah, no.
Okay. I figured you would.
I had the power of God and anime on my side, and
Oh, yeah.
you know.
I 100% knew you'd wait till the last second to do it, but
That is true Guys with Issues fashion.
Yeah.
Usually we do something last minute. Not always.
I mean, I read the entire thing
Last night, right?
So,
Well, what's weird was, hadn't read them before, but I watch a lot of YouTube, but like they'll cover
That kind of stuff.
certain cool iterations of like different Spider-Men,
yeah.
Spider-Mans,
Spider people.
Spider-Mans. No, I'm just kidding. So
Gwen would not approve.
So they talked about like a lot of the ones that got brought up, and so I knew the Inheritors and obviously the offshoot Spider
Verse people.
guys, Spider Peeps.
Spider Peeps.
So you
not all of them
were
are
familiar
people,
with
though.
some of it though.
I was almost
That's why I say Peeps.
I was almost
there you go.
100% familiar with everything that was going on, but I just had not read it.
Sugary marshmallow spiders? Spider peeps?
I'm not a big fan of Peeps, to be honest.
Hot
Yeah,
take.
me neither.
This is very brave of me to say.
Are you gonna
but,
say you like Peeps?
No, I hate Peeps.
I think that's the general take.
It's
I
fine.
don't understand why they keep making them.
Yeah.
My whole family loves them.
Really?
Yeah. Mom,
I like
sisters.
putting them in a
Well-
microwave and watching them bigify.
Except for your brother. So
Yeah,
listeners,
yeah.
so just so you know, Will and I are brothers.
Yeah.
I lived under his
Insult.
staircase.
Got a letter from Hogwarts.
Hogwarts is fake. Okay, but breaking,
staircase
breaking
was
and
real.
entering is real.
Okay, yeah. Stole food from the fridge. That's fair.
Straight out of their mouths, man.
Well, when I wasn't eating all the centipedes and cockroaches.
Which
Your
is why
house,
why
your
we never-
family's house has cockroaches? Well,
No.
not anymore.
No,
eats 'em.
I would steal the. I would steal the food and leave little crumbly bits around so that I could.
So you attracted them.
It's like farming.
Yeah, it's like Stardew Valley underneath the
Yeah,
staircase.
you have to bring in more. What's your
Stardew
what's your
Mildew
staircase.
Valley.
What's your
Mildew
food source
Valley.
underneath the stairs? You have to, think about your future and bring in more cockroaches. Anyway, so Spider-Man's also a bug.
Good transition. So before we start talking about anything else, I wanted to ask you, who are your 3 favorite superheroes?
My 3 favorite superheroes.
Yeah, can you name 3?
This is something we had to go through
The
in
gauntlet
episode
has
1.
been thrown
Yeah,
down.
so episode 0, issue 0.
Issue zero.
Zero. We all had to, I came up with the idea of us doing this, and neither of them had really ever considered it before.
I do remember you talking about this. Honestly, I should have saw it coming.
You really should have.
I just
So-
thought of doing this to you today, so
Yeah,
I'm
we're
no
definitely going to
shame.
pick on you.
No shame for not seeing it coming. I didn't think of it until now.
You are going to be more versed in the comics than I, so you tell me the name. There is a girl on It's some kind of X-Men. It could be like a Young Avengers, but I want to say it's like an all-girl team, and her body is composed like completely of like cosmos.
I don't know if I know who that is.
No.
The only I can't think of a Marvel character like that.
If you want like a real answer, okay, my number 3, yeah, my top 3 is one I don't even know the name of.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought you were gonna say like, okay, you know comic books. So the guy that is my favorite, I think he's silver and has a surfboard.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he's the Johnny Tsunami. Oh, sorry for snapping.
That's okay. It's
We do
okay,
it frequently.
No, okay,
Oh, snap.
so Terry McGinnis,
Man. Oh, Batman Beyond, huh?
Batman Beyond,
That's cool.
Peter Parker.
I expected that to be on this list. You do sport him every day on your skin.
Yeah, the Spoderman. And then honestly, it's another Spider-Man, but it's Brown Recluse Spider-Man. He has all the powers of a brown recluse spider. He's just a little guy, and he will hide in the crevices of your house, or like you shake your pants out, and he's just a little guy, and he bites you, and you might get necrosis. You're not gonna die though.
What? Did you see this in a YouTube video, or did you make it up just now?
This is a web comic.
it's in Australia.
That counts.
Actually, I'm pretty sure New Zealand. It's this one like web comic artist from New Zealand who
That
was
counts.
making a story about her friend getting bit by a brown recluse spider, and she had like a open wound with necrosis, but
Oof.
she was fine. She lived.
Yeah.
I approve. With the fact you read manga, don't you?
Oh yeah.
I thought maybe you'd throw one of those in.
Oh yeah. No. So my top 3.
Oh, we're gonna.
Just kidding.
Can you take it down to 3?
Oh, it's gonna be
Wow.
Batman Beyond, Spider-Man, and then Naruto.
Oh, yeah.
But pre-Boruto.
Yeah.
4th Great Shinobi War.
I don't actually know like anything about Naruto other than bits and pieces
Well, that's
because my
fine.
wife used to watch it.
That's fine, baby bird. I'll feed you.
I know there's a lot of filler episodes.
Have you watched them all?
Yeah. So I've watched. I've watched Naruto, Shippuden, and Boruto. Naruto Shippuden, and Boruto Naruto Next Generations. I've watched all of them all the way through. Shippuden I've watched 6 or 7 times all the way through. And
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
But also I've watched it a few times where I skip all the filler.
Ah.
So
So you've watched all of
quicker.
it, but then if you rewatch, you kind of pick and choose. Usually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
that makes
like
sense.
me
That
in
makes sense.
Star Trek.
That's true. Except you have never watched all of the original series.
That's true.
You said that in episode 2 when
I
you talked
believe
about
you.
the cruise. That was me. I kicked a chair.
Don't choke again, Nick.
That's his name. Don't choke, again, Nick.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there you go.
Speaking of choking, what do you think about all those Spider-Mans?
Arachnid.
I meant the Inheritors.
So, man, that was
Nice.
Nice.
so.
Nice callback.
I'm just going to
Yeah, that
segue
was-
us this whole time.
Continue.
To be honest,
We need
no.
it.
I would say let's start with the movie. Let's start with the movie.
He likes starting with the movie.
I like to do the movie first, end with the comic.
He's structured. He doesn't like when you get off the structure. We figured that out last time.
They did. We had a whole conversation about it.
We did.
It was unfortunate.
That I don't remember.
You don't remember that.
Oh, I'm going to tank this whole thing. I have become
No, it's okay. It's okay.
ungovernable.
Yeah.
There's
You
no
live
structure.
with no governor.
No.
I mean, I don't live with my governor either.
No. They did used to live on the same street as me.
Are you being for real?
Yeah, I lived on Bike Street, and Governor, I don't know, Bowen?
Sure, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Sure.
So when you lived there, did you bike to work every day?
Oh, no, I was just a little girl then.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair.
Oh, I did bike to school. Yeah, because there was one time I was riding my bike home, and I saw my dog in the back of some guy's pickup. He was driving away, and I asked my mom, "Why was Tracker in the back of that truck?"
No.
She goes, "Oh, What are you talking about? He ran away. She was allergic to his shampoo. I'm
Was
using
that-
air quotes.
Was that the moment that defined you as a Spider-Man?
Yeah.
My dog.
Yeah.
My dog.
Uncle Tracker, no.
That was his canon event.
His canon event was seeing his dog drive away.
If only I hadn't won
Seeing
all
his
that.
dog drive away.
I knew you were gonna say.
Sorry, you said that. I'm like, that is ridiculous. What dog drives? Could Tracker drive?
He had so many talents.
He was the best at golf.
Dude, he could take a piss outside.
Could he make baked
Can
beans?
I say more?
Did you say make beans?
Yeah, Bush.
I don't
The
get
golden
it.
retriever.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was gonna say he made biscuits, but they weren't good.
Okay.
My cats do those too. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Don't stop, Nick. Never
So
stop
anyway,
being
we-
you.
Honestly, I had a dream last night that I was making biscuits, like the cat thing.
Oh,
I was like, why are my hands doing this? I'm on Cat Talk, and I cannot get off of it. My TikTok is just hot trash, which I love.
You're
It's just-
probably the only TikToker in this room.
oh, that's
Yeah.
fine. Oh, yeah. No, I'm on it just for the cringe, but it's all cringe, meme, cats, cringe, meme, cats.
So just like an IV straight to the veins.
Yeah.
And then you fell
fine.
asleep waiting for your wife to get home, and that's all you had in your mind.
I mean, really, that's if we were to describe Nick, memes, cringe, and cats would probably all fit.
Just all over, just a piece of garbage.
Yep.
And dedicated worker.
He said in the room with
Our one listener is probably
bosses.
not part of.
In case that one listener's Joe.
In case that one listener's still listening.
Or,
If my
or-
boss is listening, yeah. Oh, I know my boss would never listen.
No, I was about to name your boss when I decided not to.
You don't
But-
think Tim would ever listen either.
No. There's I couldn't have.
he named his boss.
If Larry was still my boss, he would probably listen.
I bet Larry will listen to this. I bet he will.
Well, I was going to say the big name, but I don't want to.
Maybe he's our one listener.
No, we don't talk about where we work.
Yeah.
Where Will used to work. But then
Yeah,
he-
we also used to work together.
Yeah, for those of you who wondered why we invited him, he's just a coworker.
Yeah.
That's all.
Who we co-opted into showing up.
Coerced. We worked him
Okay,
over.
it was the Goodwill on Grape Road in Mishawaka. Move on.
We saw Across the Spiderverse. So one thing that I think is interesting about this movie, I don't know if you know who these guys are, but Chris Miller and Phil Lord. You guys know those names at all? Like writers?
Well, I know
names.
Lord the musician, but
Okay. So they did, obviously, they did the first movie. They did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Mitchell's versus the Machines. They did the Lego movie. They did 21 Jump Street.
the Lego movie, of course.
But, like, you can see their style, like, all
Oh,
throughout these movies.
And I did see it.
Because it's...
It was in the movie.
Oh, but yeah, so I suppose this is also the point that we say there will be spoilers to this movie. So if you didn't watch it in theaters and it just came to streaming by now, just know we are going to talk about spoilers. This is your spoiler warning, okay? Check a timestamp if you don't want to listen. So but their movies have like really specific style and they always have that kind of vibe. And I think this came through a lot again. So I had people asking me, how did it compare to the first one, right? They're like, did you like it better? Was it as good? Was it not as good? And this is what I kind of told people. I said, if you liked the art style or the comic book feel and kind of, and like all of those things from the way the action was done in the first movie, they take all of that and they crank it to 11. It is just way beyond anything they did in the first movie stylistically. But then they also have a completely different feel. Like this movie does not feel like the first movie. But before we continue, we do have an email.
Yay. Emails.
It's a friend of yours, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to do the honors?
I do.
Are you good with that, Will?
Oh, yeah, I'm Goodwill.
Okay, Pat. You're Goodwill, but he's okay, Pat.
I mean, some would
Yeah.
say he's great.
I would say
Well, I
he's great.
appreciate that.
I would say he's great. Go ahead.
All right. Well, she says, hello. I'm a longtime friend of Goose's. Patrick, Still can't get used to hearing his non-Twitch name after almost a decade.
Wow.
And he has clearly not told you all enough about Dragon Con. If you like cosplay and very enthusiastic nerds embracing everything they love with a lot of other nerds, it is the perfect con for you. There's comic tracks, all history tracks, how to be a sci-fi or fantasy author track, gaming tracks, almost any kind of panel you can think of. It's also spread between 5 host hotels, a giant vendors area, and a separate multi-story building with all sorts of stuff from small shops to build your own lightsaber booth to become your own minifig or action figure with a 3D scan. All this to say, y'all should come down and check it out for yourself. Clearly, not just to convince Goose to come and visit more often. Keep up the great work, Kim.
Sounds like you have a friend that wants you to visit.
Yeah, I do. And I would like to go visit her too.
Well,
Nice.
yeah.
Visiting friends is...
Tight.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she's not wrong. So tracks are in their website. Because
Okay.
this was confusing to me the first time I looked up Dragon Con stuff.
Okay.
It's just like categories
Okay.
for things that are going on.
Yeah, I got on their website and looked at it. Dragon Con is considered like one of the biggest conventions.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she said it was spread across the 5 hotels and then another building.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a large convention.
Yes.
So, we've been discussing going.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Every time we went there, I've had a lot of
Really
fun.
far away, though.
It is pretty far away.
Oh, you were the one that just said, "Let's go" last time.
Oh, I know, but then the enthusiasm wore off. I'm like, that is a long way.
It is a long way to do an ad hoc, unplanned
Yes.
trip. Now, on the flip side of that, I did look up some of the guests, and there are other people other than Will White and Travis Baldry that I would love to take like a book to get autographed by or something like that. Timothy Zahn
Yeah.
of Thrawn.
Where do you got the inspiration for the name?
Grand Admiral Zahn. I can't use that. I'm going to have to throw that out. Throw out Zahn. Throw Zahn. Throw Thrawn. Wouldn't that be weird if that really is?
That would be amazing.
Did
if
it.
That was what it was.
But Kim, thanks for your email. We
Thank
would
you.
like to go to Dragon Con. I don't know if we're going to make it, though.
I guess you'll know by the time you hear this.
Yep, because this will be airing the week after Dragon Con.
But even if we don't make it this year, it's possible we will go another year.
Yeah.
A year where it's planned.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it has a heavy focused. It's a heavy focus on authors and artists too. Like, there's quite a few novelists and
Oh, yeah.
cover artists and
It's
things.
a novel convention.
Oh, jeez.
I appreciate that, Will.
Appreciate Will is my name.
Oh, wow. These jokes are depreciating by the minute. We also got another email from Christoph where he asked if he's the number one emailer yet, although he is still the first emailer, he made sure to point out.
Yes.
No, Christoph, Heather is still beating you
Yeah.
with her multiple emails a day sometimes.
We do appreciate you guys' enthusiasm, though.
We
really
do.
It is amazing.
We would love more of the one listener. It's hard to make that joke, right? We're
Yeah.
talking about people. No, we'd love it if more people would send us emails. Tell us what you think. Course correct us if you need to once in a while.
Yeah,
we
we know we need
appreciate
it.
feedback. We do. Good and critical.
Yes.
And good critical.
And,
We prefer when it's good, when it's critical but good.
and critically good.
Ooh, and we'll be the critics of that.
We just start rating people's emails just to give them anxiety
many?
before they hit the send button.
The worst idea.
How many send buttons would you give that email?
Oh, that was... Sorry, Heather. You get 2 send buttons this time.
Oh, man.
Ah, Kim, you got 5.
Yeah.
Because you got us
Oh, yeah.
wanting to. Your email is what sent me to look into more of the vendors and guests of Dragon Con.
Dragon Con really is great. Maybe I will really try to go next year, even if you two don't come with.
Well, it
Whoa.
almost sounds like he's trying to cut us out.
I'm not.
Yeah, he's trying
I
to
would-
hog the con all to himself.
I would prefer you to come, but if you can't, I might still go by myself.
Well, Kim wants to see you, her friend of a decade, so
Right.
we're just bonuses.
Right. Obviously.
Yep.
You're like the icing on the cake.
Which some people just scrape off and throw in the trash.
I mean, it depends on the
I
age.
never thought about that.
But I know people that do not like the ice.
My niece loves it. She literally will just eat the icing, leave the cake.
Oh, so for those of you, so I guess we're the people in the middle.
So it's really 50-50. That's what we're hearing.
Oh man, and it is. But yeah, that's all the emails we have for this episode, right? This issue's full of email.
Full of email.
And full of spiders. So spoiler to you guys, I saw the movie twice.
I expected this.
I'm not surprised.
So
You cheated on me? You're pregnant?
Oh my gosh.
as you guys know, the reason we chose to see the movie when we did was because I didn't have somebody to watch my kids. So after we watched it, I could evaluate whether or not I thought my kids could go to it.
Oh, yeah.
And since my wife was gone, I was like, I think that my kids, I knew my daughter would like it. My son being so young, my seeing that there wasn't anything I thought would be too much for him, I was more concerned that the pace of the movie, even though there is a lot of high energy stuff, I thought maybe it might lose him a little bit. It's not really like little kid friendly story wise. The first one,
I had said that thing to you about like, well, do you think he'll know what's going on? But if he doesn't, there is like a kaleidoscope of colors. And stuff,
oh yeah,
which,
it's
I mean,
just constant stuff.
I mean, as a 4-year-old, in a 31-year-old's body, that
You're like, that's
that
how I
pulled me.
experienced
Yeah, I was like,
the movie.
Like, oh, pretty colors.
Yeah, this is pretty neat.
So he did.
Her
he-
hair's changing colors.
he was moving around quite a bit here and there, but he did enjoy it. My daughter, you should have seen her face. It was the same face I made at the end,
Just
Nah.
angry.
not
But
knowing that it was not to be concluded at all. This isn't an Infinity War conclusion. Like Infinity War says, this is the story. We're trying to stop Thanos. We fail to stop Thanos. Thanos wins. Thanos does his snap, and the movie ends. So the movie ends with a loss, but the story gets completed. And in this movie, you're like, this is like a Fellowship of the Ring ending, where you're like, oh, Boromir just died, and 2 hobbits just went off on their own, and 2 hobbits are stinking kidnapped. Don't act like
Well,
you're...
I didn't say I wasn't gonna watch it.
So, and it literally, if you watched Fellowship of the Ring thinking you were getting a whole movie and you get to the end, you'd be like, what did I just watch?
I just watched it last weekend, to be honest.
Are you being for real?
Full transparency. Yeah. No, I actually did.
You'd never seen it?
No, I've seen it tons of times.
Oh, okay.
I actually, this was the first time I watched the extended version.
Oh,
But-
that's my only version in my mind. Once you see the extended, you can't watch
Yeah.
the others. But that's how jarring this was to not know. It was just like, and then for a while I was like, did I like this? How can you determine how much you liked it if it's not a full story? Right? So then everybody's asking, what'd you think? What was it like? Blah, 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 blah. And the only thing I said, well, I would tell them it was like, if you like the first movie, you're going to like this. You will. But I go, listen, something that may impact your opinion. I'm going to tell you something that isn't really a spoiler, but you should know ahead of time. And I would say, it doesn't end. It's to be continued. That's all I would tell
You
them.
were the one person that I knew who did not know that.
I also didn't know it.
I mean, I didn't know going in, but when the main villain disappeared, like not even halfway through the movie,
and never showed up
and,
again.
like he just continued to never show back up. I'm like, there's either some crazy twist at the end to where he's actually Miles somehow, like they fused together when the thing blew up, or
There's your fan theory.
yeah, or there's gonna be a
They
second movie.
became one.
So you were the 3
Became Neo?
persons that I didn't know.
It's because we try really hard not to watch a lot of stuff if we're planning on going to see something.
I'm
Yeah.
a little bit of the opposite. 100% I won't watch, like, I don't know how to say it. I guess I'm a hypocrite and also just a piece of garbage who
Hot garbage.
actually
You think
doesn't-
he's
yeah,
hot?
Yep.
This is getting okay.
A little weird, Will, but
Weird, little
That's-
weird Will.
That's his name.
But I mean, I'll watch like trailer breakdowns on YouTube, and I mean,
Seeing the Easter eggs that they pick out. And
yeah, I mean, there was a guy I watch. He's fairly popular, and you can bleep his name out if you want to. But Emergency, awesome.
Oh, Emergency Awesome.
Yeah,
I used to watch them.
So he broke down the Spider-Man. Is No Way Home?
Oh yeah, are you talking about the previous
third-
Marvel one?
Yeah,
yeah. Yep.
No
Way
Home.
Home.
So he had broke that one down forever ago, and he was talking about the scene where, like, in the trailer before everyone knew that Toby and Andrew were coming back.
Officially in it. Yeah.
They're like, oh, the reptile, he looks like he's getting kicked. But
Oh, because the Brazilian trailer
Yeah.
didn't clip it right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
he must be coming. They're like, obviously, there's more Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
And that's a direct quote from... I'm just kidding.
Well, there has never been a movie with more Spider-Mans than this movie that we watched.
So I guess I'm gonna asterisk that and be like, I will watch a Marvel trailer because I know it's not going to
Ruin the
me
experience. Yeah.
But I've watched like the trailer for Jordan Peele's Nope, and spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, I also haven't watched it. It's an alien movie because they show you right there in the trailer it's aliens.
Yeah.
So
I've never
like,
watched it either.
That's a movie that is on my want to watch list, man. I want to see that so bad.
did I just ruin it for you?
No, I knew about that.
Okay.
I don't do it with everything.
I was gonna say like I really wanted to watch it, and then I was kind of like, I don't know.
I
still want to,
avoid
but-
like clips and articles and stuff. I'll watch trailers here and there. For Across the Spider-Verse, I watched at least 2 trailers. I think I may have passed on like the one that was like final trailer. I was like, well, I'm going to see it. It's
I did
okay.
the same thing, yeah,
So,
What's
because
So,
I
like-
knew that we were gonna go see.
but
it.
Pat
So-
tries to avoid like everything.
I do.
including people? But
That's the truth.
I didn't even know Pat worked with us.
he didn't know Pat was real. He thought Pat was imaginary.
He thought when we talked about having the podcast with 3 people at the other guy's house, it was a code for us being up to no good.
But speaking of trailers, like there's the one scene where the mom in the beginning was talking
oh yeah,
to her son, and that's in like one of the very first.
that was
trailers.
the first trailer.
Was
it was
it
the first
trailer?
Yep.
I knew it was.
That was the scene they opened with.
I thought it was the first, but then everybody still laughed. I'm like, I've heard this 800
You heard
times.
part of it. They didn't do the whole thing. They did part
no,
of
no,
it.
the part they laughed at. The
When she's like,
Ice.
"Sorry, I iced your game."
yeah, that's literally in the trailer, and yet everybody still laughed. I'm like, I've heard this so many times.
You know what that
How
means?
is this still
Is that what
funny?
It was
she
just.
said?
It was just. Yeah, she goes, "Sorry, I iced your game,
not
man."
hear that.
And he says, "Nobody my age says those words in that order, Mom."
Yeah.
By the way, my son wanted to watch a clip from the movie, which was the one where the Spot tries to steal the ATM machine. ATM machine.
He said it.
You did say it.
The reason I said it was because I had to watch this clip like 50 times this morning, and he says ATM machine every time in the clip, and then at the end, Miles goes, "Why do you call it an ATM machine?" He just kept watching it over and over and over because he thought it was hilarious, and I was like, "But you want to know something I didn't notice in the movie when I watched, and I noticed in that clip?" When he's knocking all the cans over, he does it intentionally once, like where he takes an armful and puts them down, but he has them arranged like to roll like he intentionally uses the cans to roll the ATM across the floor. I didn't notice that when we watched the movie. He does it.
didn't
He
notice
even
it
takes
either.
an armful at the very end and puts them down in front of the machine because there's already cans across the rest of the floor, and he covers the only gap that's left. So I made a note and I just wrote, there are a lot of little details in this movie. Watching it the second time, the prologue with Gwen, which was as good as like entire movies sometimes, I think, like as far as like the action and stuff, they show parts when she's drumming. They show parts from later in the movie. Like you see Inspector Singh, his silhouette in one part and stuff. So then I was like, why did they do that? What, like, is it to show the connection between all the Spider-Men? And so when she's like doing that, it's like that connection with everybody, or, you know, because she hadn't left her world other than going to Miles yet. But like there are flashes of stuff that are from later in the movie in that scene.
I mean, you might have to cut out that part where you did the drumming sequence. It's copyrighted. But no, it sounds like it's like weaponized incompetence. where he's just like, I don't know what I'm doing, and he just like shovels some cans through his arm because he knows that they're gonna like shoot out of his leg.
He's a scientist, you know.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
shoot out of his leg and make the guy like whoop 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 whoop.
I also really like the line where he's like, "This is my first robbery. Don't ruin this for me. Let it be good." The dialogue, there was some great writing in this movie. So
Yes.
fun.
was
So
great.
like, it wasn't as funny, like goofy funny as the first movie. It definitely felt more serious overall.
I feel like it relied too much on cultural memes because it did the Spider-Man meme.
I don't think that's I think that's just a fully
I think
ingrained Spider-Man thing now.
I thought about this.
Name
That
two
it-
more memes that it did.
I
You
actually
said it
can't.
relied too heavily
Well,
on cultural memes.
Like, I think it relied heavily on things that we know but aren't like in the movie, like the Spider-Man meme. I feel like there were some others.
I know there were things that I liked in the movie that I don't think anybody in this room picked up on unless you watch a lot of YouTube on Spider-Man.
Yeah, you don't know me.
Who are you again?
Nico Vorminger.
What are you doing in my house?
What are you doing in my house?
I was already here, man.
He was. You don't have stairs, but he was trying to find somewhere to live. Didn't you say there was a kid that was under your house in the one episode in a crawl space? Didn't we say you found a kid one time? Remember that?
No.
Yeah,
Maybe we made a
we
joke
make a
about
joke
it.
about it because you talk about children at your house, and you're like, I don't have kids, and then we're like, oh, it's probably that neighborhood kid keeps showing up and hiding.
I don't remember this at all. I'm pulling a Will.
So
It's not hard,
Yeah, Dimension's crazy.
isn't it? So fun though, because everything is just new all the time.
But anyway, as a whole, what did you all think of the movie as a whole? Did you all like it? Obviously,
Oh, yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's
And
good
that's gonna be
times.
Pat's whole review right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's going to be the one that they use in the review, the accolades trailer. He'll tweet it and it'll say, Pat, yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was all right. No, I really liked it. It was good. I would almost recommend it.
It's not.
Almost. Wow.
But having that to be continued, you're like, yeah, you might want to wait till the
Right. I
second.
might want to wait till the second part.
No, I got somebody to go see it regardless. And they messaged me last night and were like, my wife was so mad when she saw that at the end. And he goes, but this might be one of my new favorite movies.
Yeah,
It
I really liked it. I mean, it's kind of like when you watch Infinity War, you know Endgame's coming up. I guess.
Unless you didn't, like
Right.
me.
Yeah.
I love that build-up moment where they don't say this, but it's like, you know, everything that happens towards the end. I know we said spoilers. I still don't want to, like, talk about everything.
Well, it was blowing my mind that you weren't picking up on that.
That it was a different place?
No, that everything was kind of wrapping up.
Yeah, but I just was like, I expected there to be more conclusion, though.
You look like you went through a series of emotions. You were excited. You were excited. You were angry. You were like joyful. You were pissed. You were just
No,
to be continued. What?
It's true. That
Like the phases
exactly
of grieving.
how
He went through
Denial.
every stage.
I did.
He denied
No.
it. He was
Well, no,
angry.
I
He
did
was
deny it
grieving.
at first. I really did. Because when it happened, I thought, oh, this is like, because the way those guys are when they write their movies, I was like, oh, this is a joke. Like in my mind, I thought, oh, this is them. And it's going to say, like, to be continued. And then it'll, like, kick back in because they do
Continue.
stuff like that. Like, I don't remember which movie it is, if it's like the Lego Movie 2 or something, but they have like a fake ending at some point. It is the Lego Movie 2. They totally fake you out. I mean, like, not really, you know what's going to happen, but the point is they make it feel like the movie is ending, but then it doesn't. And I thought they were doing that again, and then I was like, wait, that's the real ending.
We had to drag him out of the movie theater because he was
I
still
was
there.
weeping.
The blacks.
I was sitting there.
The screen
and
was
the lights
dark.
came up, and I was like, no, that's not the end. And I was crying, and I was kind of rocking back and forth, and I was laughing, and I was crying.
Yeah.
It was intense.
He was slowly turning into the Joker.
But that's why I went with my friends. They were able to pull me back from the edge. Mm-hmm. But no, you're right. I did. You nailed it, though. I was just like, because I expected, okay, not knowing that it was to be continued, I would. I still would have thought that to conclude this arc, they would have saved him before the next movie. Like, and then the next movie would have been facing the Spot. Like, so for me, I was just like, you didn't even conclude what you started. Now, like it was.
I mean, they sort of did because he kind of.
The only way that you could say they concluded is because he escaped.
I was going to say that, but I'm like,
2099's universe, but he didn't escape the way he thought he did.
You guys, this was Ocean's 11 building up to Ocean's 12. Okay?
right?
So Clooney was...
Except Ocean's 11 ends.
I didn't watch the movie.
I also didn't watch it.
I just know
Me
that
neither.
they're
I love Ocean's 11. It's one of my like favorite fun watches.
Then I shouldn't have said that because I'm going to sound like an idiot. I was going to say it was Clooney just building up his team to go storm the next bank.
It's a casino on the
casino.
first.
Yeah, I know that's casino.
But the casino is another universe.
Wow.
Isn't it
But-
always?
So what did you think, Nick? Though, you liked it? You liked it?
Yeah. So comparatively, I guess, to the first one. The first one's like cut and dry. It has an ending.
It's an origin story too.
Fantastic movie. This one, me being the 1 out of 4 that went into it knowing it was part 1, I could see the signs that it was ending, and I knew I was just like, all right, well, this is good. We're going full spoilers.
No, that's fine. We gave a spoiler alert. We gave it.
We got Gwen, assembling her team to
The
go.
Gwen Vengers.
The Gwavengers.
The Gwavengers.
Yes.
Gwanda.
Yeah, that wasn't subtle either. Yeah. What kind of name is Gwanda? He's talking about her to his mom.
Well, that's what they do in the first movie. Because she's like, I'm Gwanda,
I
and
didn't pick
and
up
she's
on
like,
that.
it's South African. She's like, but I was raised here, and he's like, that's weird, and she's like, it's really just Wanda.
But I mean,
It was just a callback to the first movie.
her just like pulling that team together. I thought that that's a good wrap up because that gets me excited for who all is she gonna bring, and actually leaving him back in Universe 42. I thought that was fine because I'm gonna sit after this going, like, how are you gonna get him out of this?
Yep. And how many of the Sinister Six cartel are you gonna have to fight?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it 1? Is it 6? Who knows?
Probably not 7.
Probably
defeat the
not
name.
7.
But
Definitely going to be 5.
I do think, though, I would not be surprised with her bringing a team. It's not just going to be her and them against the Prowler. Like, it's not, man.
I'm telling you what, I
Dude,
got so
Evil
excited.
Miles is awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
He's got 2 braids and he's got one thing on his mind.
He has 2 braids and 1 glove.
1 glove. Danny Glover.
But, dude, how good was seeing the Prowler? Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
But, dude, how funny was it seeing that, Marvel started Homecoming and introed him as an Easter egg, and he's like, oh, I'm on my way to my nephew's birthday party. And everybody's like, oh, Marvel acknowledged Miles Morales, blah, blah, blah. And it never did anything. Never went anywhere. It was nothing. He never showed up back up again. And so to see him wear a Prowler suit.
It was cool, but they
It was
definitely
funny, though.
they
It
threw
was
him a
funny.
bone.
So the question is, they had Tobey Maguire.
Andrew
They
Garfield.
had Andrew Garfield.
They
Will
had the
Tom
Chinese
Holland-
lady from Venom. That convenience store?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they brought all the universes
Yeah.
in. They did all of it.
Will Tom Holland be in the next one?
Well, you guys don't watch videos like I do.
That is correct.
And honestly, because of recording time today, I did not end up watching it, but there was a video of, I guess I don't know if it is something fan made or not, but it was Tom Holland and Bandersnatch Cucumber Patch.
Okay.
Like recorded being like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, and they are like jumping through these different transitions of animation. And it was supposed to be like a, I don't know, nod to them maybe being included.
Well, they got mentioned because they were like, in that scene where he's like, Doctor Strange and that nerd from whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, and it's like, Doctor Strange, they probably shouldn't practice medicine. But, so, or Miles said that. It sounds like he shouldn't practice medicine, I think.
Right.
But I also noticed when they first enter the lobby to the Spider-Man thing on the second viewing, I tried to read some more of the speech bubbles here and there. But where the first person made a joke about the spot, like leaving a hole or doing something, right? Like, and he's like, do you guys always, that's what we need, more jokes or something. And then it shows all the speech bubbles everywhere. They are all jokes that different Spider-Men are making about the spot escaping. Every single one of them. And I was like, oh man, it's like, it's good it's there, but it's like such a bummer because you don't actually have time to read them. but I read like one or two and I was like, oh, they're all making jokes. I thought that was pretty funny because I spent a lot of time in the Spiderverse area just looking at all the different Spider-Men, seeing if I could recognize where they were from and if I knew what they were.
100%. I was doing the same thing. I was almost kind of pulled out of it a little bit.
Same.
Because I was like...
Easter egg moment. It was the way you watch the Mario movie, right? Like, you're just, like, looking for Easter eggs.
Don't tell me what to do.
I haven't actually watched it. I almost did because you mentioned it on Thursday.
The Mario movie?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either.
Okay.
Me neither.
Pat did.
It's really good.
It
really is.
I've been belting Peaches.
To be honest with you, it's not a great movie plot-wise.
Oh,
But it's a great
It lives up to
movie.
Mario's plot, right?
Oh, 100%. It's almost a story of all the Mario games from beginning to end.
Like, rolled into one big story.
More than the ones, yeah.
Including Mario
Because-
Kart.
Yeah, the trailer shows Mario Kart.
Does it? I never
Have you
watched
not?
the
Yeah, no, that they show Smash Brothers and Mario Kart in the trailer.
Man, I was just being facetious. But
No, it really, because like the first game with Mario in it, it's pretty much the first scene of the movie, and it ends with, and I'm not going to say it because nobody else
well,
has
are
seen
you
it.
talking about Donkey Kong?
But it ends at the end of what Odyssey would have, Odyssey
Really?
would have ended, yeah.
Interesting.
Are we talking about Jumpman?
Sure.
What?
Just watch it. Just watch the movie.
I know.
But no, did you guys do you guys know who Ben Reilly is? You would know who Ben Reilly is, right?
Hold on, before you say that. It has beaten Frozen in all-time gross sales on the box office. Mario
Oh,
has.
good.
Oh, I thought you meant Spider-Man. I was like, already?
So the only other one it has to beat is Frozen 2.
Tangled is so much better than Frozen.
Oh, it is.
Anyway. Okay.
Definitely have no backstory to. No, obviously, yeah.
So, you got the humor behind his dialogue and stuff. Like how... So, you two don't know who Ben Reilly is, correct?
I think we've
No
talked about
idea.
him before.
So he is Spider-Man. He is Peter Parker's clone, and it was part
Yeah.
of this thing called the Clone Saga that fans lost their crap over because
Yeah, that's where I
Marvel
remember.
decided to say that Ben Reilly was the real person and Peter Parker was the clone, and people like lost their minds during that time until they went, "No, wait, we weren't. We didn't mean it. He's the clone." But if you couldn't tell by his dialogue, he was written in the 90s, much like another guy we've been reading.
What?
Like,
No.
so Will, I automatically thought when he leans in, he's like, "Oh, I'm just thinking about all of the terrible things about my life and being
Yes.
angsty." And I was like, I wonder, Will may not know who Ben Reilly is, but I bet right now if I told him Ben Reilly is a lot like Azrael back in the 90s.
I would immediately avoid it like the plague. Yes.
But yeah, I thought that was hilarious, and the fact that he was even monologuing, like when he's like, "I'm looking at this wall, it seems all right."
For the longest time, I was trying to find the like sleeveless hoodie
Yeah, his blue hoodie.
that had actual like red sleeves because like his
Oh,
outfit is
yep.
just like a leotard
Yeah, whatever
whatever.
you want to call it.
with a blue
Hoodie.
sleeveless hoodie with like a giant spider just going.
Does it make it look like he's bleeding from his armpits?
Dude, that.
Yeah.
Are you bleeding from your armpits? We can get you a new suit. We'll make you a new suit.
I cut you off. Sorry.
I don't even remember.
Well, okay, so let's keep this going.
I believe you.
Not even to the comics. So, did you guys have a favorite part of the movie? Do you have a favorite scene? Something like that?
Spider Pig.
Was he? Like at the very end, seeing him again?
Sure.
Okay.
Because then I was
he
just
did
thinking
show
about
up at the very end.
At the very end.
then I'm just thinking about Homer Simpson singing Spider Pig.
Jeez. It's called Spider Ham.
No, actually,
But-
it's really the whole movie was great. I don't know.
It
that
was.
There's any
There's
specifically.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know
you
what
didn't
I'm
have
trying to say.
a scene that you were just like, oh, that was so good.
I really didn't.
Anything Hobie.
So
His animation.
so is Hobie
style.
also? My next question is going to be,
Who's your favorite
character?
And why is it Hobie? Is that what?
Is
what
it-
it
yeah.
was?
Is everybody's favorite character Hobie?
I
Yeah,
mean,
pretty much.
I like Hobie because I'm just like,
You're an anarchist.
yeah.
I know.
But his
100%.
whole style, like even the fact that they keep everyone's,
Aesthetic.
that his is just this 90s grunge looking, maybe pre-90s
Like printed on newspaper
printed
almost.
newspaper. It's his style is literally like a serial killer note, where they just cut out all the letters of different magazines.
Yeah.
It is,
But also,
though. Yeah.
I don't know if it's called this or if this is just a similar aesthetic, but like trash polka, or literally like Franz Ferdinand,
Okay.
Take Me Out, their music video.
Okay.
No,
No.
no,
Nope.
no grabbers for there.
Maybe our one listener will get that reference.
Yeah, Gunner, I know that you probably know what he just said.
The one listener.
Yeah. Thank you, listener.
Thank you, listener.
But
I can't remember what we said his name was in the.
we came up with a name.
Yeah, because we said
Remember that
something.
either.
It might have been. Was it Ben? I don't remember.
I'm sure the name was going to change.
No, I remember because I said Ben was the guy I don't like.
That's
because-
what it was. Because then we were like, oh, if our one listener's name is Ben,
Yeah,
hopefully it's
yeah.
not you. That's what it is. It
Yeah.
was Ben.
I remember that.
That's what it was. That's what it was. When you said that there were, where I said I could count 8 people that you hated or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Nick. Nick, it's you. He looks,
All 8.
he's crying. It's okay.
Oh.
Your shoulders are shaking. Bring it together.
I
Oh, they're
broke 'em.
hugging. They're hugging now.
Oh.
It's okay. They reconciled.
No, Will's taking all of his clothes off.
No.
He's buttered himself up, and he's holding a knife to Chris's throat.
Did you say Chris goat himself up?
No, I said Will took all of his clothes
Buttered
off.
himself
buttered
up.
himself
Buttered
up.
himself up. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
He said
That way
Chris's throat.
Holding a knife to Chris's throat.
Okay.
The butter is obviously so we can't catch him. We grab him, and he just goes.
Like a greased pig.
My daughter told me after she watched it that Hobie was her favorite. I was like,
Well, he took his mask off, and he's even more handsome.
It's like, how are you cool?
how are
under the
you
mask?
cooler under the... I've always been like this.
I know, right? Even his friggin'
His fake watch.
yeah, fake watch. Which, what did it say on it?
It said like if everything doesn't go right or something, or like when things don't go right or something like that. It said, you mean the watch or the note?
What the actual watch said on it?
Oh, the watch does say something, but I cannot remember what it
I have
is.
to look it up.
So do you think he?
So Pat, you don't. What? Go ahead.
do you think he made the watch from the parts he stole?
Yes, 100%.
because he's been stealing all
You
that
can
stuff.
so you can see some of the parts that he
Yeah.
pulled.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Because I knew when I
it doesn't
watched
do
him,
anything. You don't know that.
When I was watching him steal, I'm like, he's up to something.
He was nicking it.
I didn't know if he was going to end up being a bad guy, and like he's
No.
a villain. And he's making something, and then all of a sudden, like they're like Miles and him are going to have to start fighting. And
A line of dialogue I didn't pick up till the second time is when he says something when Miles and 2099
Miguel,
Miguel were arguing, and he says they say something like, they go, "You're not helping," and he goes, "Good,
Yeah,
like
I
real
heard
quick.
that.
No,
I didn't catch. I couldn't hear what he said the first time. I didn't
picked
catch
up
that.
on every one of those.
And so
It's the slight, like, it's a thing that you say.
It's that
in an
anarchy thing.
like an argument where, like, it's not going to help, but also, like, I want you to know that
Wasn't trying.
he
Yeah, I'm not
established that
trying.
he was not part of the system.
You're not helping. Good.
Yeah. My daughter's favorite was Hobie. Favorite scene, I could think of a couple scenes, though, that I thought were just awesome. But you're right. The movie as a whole, it's just front to back. So good. I did really, really like the scene in, like, the Mumbai Spiderverse where they are saving everybody and then
No,
he
that was
breaks
good.
canon. That whole sequence
Yeah.
was so good.
I thought it was cool that they called it, like canonical event or canon
event. Yeah. Because they all go through it.
And that she hesitated because she's thinking it has to happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's messed up.
Oh, dude. Well, that's that whole point where, you know, we're supposed to be the good guys, like, at that point, because he's just like, why can you stand by and let it happen? And he's like, because if we don't, it'll, like, reality will crumble. And he's like, you don't know that just because it happened to him. But what happened to him, though, was, like, on another level
To Miguel
to Miguel,
O'Hara.
where he went and totally stole someone's life.
Yeah.
So are we talking about this? Man?
What?
Like issues we might have had with the movie?
Oh, not
Yeah.
yet. Hold on.
Oh, I forgot.
Let me say my favorite character. My favorite character was probably
Spider Cat.
one of my favorite moments, by the
Spider
way,
Cowboy?
though, was what that's what we should do. Who was your favorite Spider-Man that came on screen? Does anybody have one that they really liked that was a random one?
T-Rex.
We talked about the
The-
cowboy. We thought the cowboy
I
was
did
super
like the
cool.
cowboy.
I like
cowboy was
seeing
pretty
Penny Parker in her actual mech suit from the comic.
Oh,
that was,
yeah.
that,
That
was
was-
awesome.
That was my favorite issue to read.
Yeah, the
I was so
Gundam
excited
Gundam
for-
Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because it almost looked like
A manga.
a manga, but
So did oh, see, now
it
we're
was
bleeding
also
in.
written by Gerard Way,
I know that name. Who is that?
My Chemical Romance.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Didn't he write Umbrella Academy?
he-
Yes.
We hated
We
Umbrella.
hated that
And I
comic.
hate you, and I'm leaving.
Arachnid. I like we all said it at the same time.
Yeah,
Good
we
job,
did.
boys. That wasn't planned, listener.
There's another episode where Pat and I say something in perfect unison.
Yeah, we
And
do.
I played it back like 3 times. And I went and I unplugged my headphones and I looked at my wife and I said, you have to listen to this. Tell me how weird this sounds. And I played it and she looked at me with the like most perplexed look. It was so funny. But the story of that one wasn't my favorite, but the art style in it was awesome. I love the art in that issue. But my favorite character is actually it might actually be Miguel, because he was such a good kind of like in the moment antagonist, and he was so intense, and I like how he was a good dichotomy to the rest of the Spider-Man. Like it was that juxtaposition of like how
To
he
Hobie, yeah.
well no to all of them. Well, even Peter's like, you're the only one of us that isn't funny. Peter B. Parker.
That's my favorite.
Is that your favorite part?
Oh, no, oh yeah, no. Okay, now I'm gonna like change what I'm saying. Hobie, I love Jake Johnson so much. He's Nick Miller in
New Girl. Yeah.
He is my favorite
Actor,
when he
like, ever.
showed up and he's just like shoving this kid in everyone's face and just like, she took a crap or whatever. And
She's a
just like,
Parker.
you should hold her. It's gonna
Dude, when
change your
Hobie's
life.
like, I salute you for crapping on the establishment.
That
That was so
hilarious.
funny.
he's straight up, he's my favorite because I love.
Dude, that
Jake Johnson.
scene with him in the fan room where he's like, I had her because I hoped she could be like you. And he's like, come on, man. Like, that scene, dude, that movie. And it was during this like crazy, intense action sequence that leads directly into another even crazier, because it's the train scene, which is,
Yeah.
to me, that was phenomenal. That whole thing where he's even like, I led all of you guys away. And then it's just like, oh, also, you know how you see the digital girl Digispider hesitate to hit cancel, I noticed, though, that the camera kind of lingers. It's almost like center focus on where it says 42.
Are you talking about Spiderbite? Like
Spiderbite, thank you. I couldn't think of her name.
The girl in
Yes,
the chair.
yeah.
Okay.
When she hesitated, you thought, and you see her with Gwen at the end, like she knew, I don't think what we're doing is right. But I'm not totally convinced that her hesitation was to help him. Because it shows that she can see which universe he's going to.
Sure.
But then they go to the wrong one.
Right. I was just going to point that out.
But here's my other thing. It's based on your DNA, which I thought was weird. They said it tracks your DNA.
I guess it's your spider DNA.
Okay, but then that's different than for the villains. Because they send Rhino back. That is how they send the villains home. The spiders don't use that machine.
The spider that bites you changes your DNA, right?
Okay, so
the
what
one that bit
Because so that was
Miles.
my one like slight plot hole. So because it was 42, it changed his entire genetic code to a different universe.
Honestly, I could say if this machine could distinguish between, because he's the first one, right?
He is the anomaly, right? That's what they established.
From two different universes.
Yes.
If the machine can distinguish,
because my thought was
flips a coin,
and it just picks one.
It could.
Because here's my thing with that. They had stated that it reads your genetic code. And so, yes, you can say that for a Spider-Man, it reads the code that was sequenced from the spider bite, because it does alter your genes. That's how you get spider powers. But that would mean that his, like, I just feel like I wish there would almost be exposition to clarify that. Like, I don't need it. I can write it off as just being like, okay, that is what it did. It rewrote his genetic sequence to match a different universe. But then why doesn't he glitch in his universe? The spider glitched in his universe. Like, that would technically make him a part of 42, not a part of 1610.
everyone at Sony is going, shut up, Chris.
Better stop doing
They're going
that.
to cancel our podcast.
We didn't think about that, all right? Stop talking about it.
But anyway,
Maybe because
that
he's
was my
part both?
only. But that's.
Because he didn't. Was he?
But
I
again,
guess
that
he did
goes to your
glitch
coin
in
flip,
42.
right?
Oh my God, he is.
He does.
Divergent.
He does.
He
Stop. I read
glitched
that
in
book.
42.
He does glitch in 42, which makes me think that it can't just be your DNA then. But then why would a machine... Anyway, this is getting deeper than what they ever thought about for the movie, probably.
So you said the spider that bit him glitched.
I think in the first movie, the spider goes as it's crawling.
Yeah, no, I'm almost positive. I
was watching it this morning.
I almost watched it this morning.
Oh,
but
there's a great callback scene that I didn't know was a callback scene. When his dad goes to jump in the Spot's hole. And he pauses and then he goes down the stairs. Miles does that the first time he goes to jump off a building. And he goes to jump off and then he takes the stairs down. And I laughed when my son was watching this morning. And I was like, oh, it was a callback scene.
I was wondering in the moment, like, why I kind of remembered that. I was like,
But that's what Chris Miller and Phil Lord, man, dude, they are so good at that kind of stuff. That's one thing that anybody who sees their sequels always will tell you, that they just have great callbacks. They know their material really well. But, okay, so least favorite scene. Least favorite.
Well, okay, so how did...
Or biggest beef.
How did...
Because I guess I said mine then, right?
Right.
That would technically be my beef with the
smallest
movie.
beef? Spider pig. Oh, wait, no,
Spider
he's a
cow.
pig.
Spider
cow.
ham.
Was there a spider cow?
Cut it.
We saw a cat. We saw like a werewolf. We saw a horse.
Well,
And a
spot.
pig. Spider. He's not a spider, but he's
He's
part
black and
of
white like a cow.
He's part of Miles.
All right, largest beef. Pat, go.
Okay, so how did Miguel know he was the first whatever?
Anomaly.
Yes.
How did Miguel know that?
So did Miguel have to go to his dimension and fix something?
Well, they said that the
Because-
rifts are all because of what happened in the first movie. The particle.
No, that was the end of the first movie.
Well, the beginning of the first movie is what causes the rifts that bring the other spider people. So that would have been the beginning of the rifts. The Hadron Collider, particle collider, goes off in the beginning and is destroyed, and that's what brings Gwen and Peter B. Parker and
Okay.
Spider-Ham and stuff in the beginning of the first movie.
He had been Spider-Man for a while.
Who? Miles?
Yes.
No, he hadn't been Spider-Man at all before that.
Okay, so he
The
was...
spider came right before that.
Okay.
So question.
Because they say Spot brought, well, whoever the scientist
Bagel
Spot was.
scientist. By the way, in the
But-
convenience store, he also goes, I was also considered reasonably handsome for a scientist.
So
Spot was actually a pretty good character.
Dude.
Spider
Also,
showed up.
great evolution. Like how much more skilled and menacing he became.
Oh, question.
Dude.
Because you watched it this morning.
Yeah.
Is
I didn't
there-
see the whole movie. He stopped it like halfway through. But what?
I was saying,
bagel.
yeah, like the,
No, that's in it. That is the part where they confront Doc Ock, the female one.
yeah.
And they're running through. They do hit somebody in the face with a bagel. And when it hits, it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie because of what they do. So that's why I know. But when it hits them, it actually, the impact sound says bagel. And that's why I remember it. It's one of my favorites, like little things in the whole movie. But he does hit somebody in the face with a bagel in the first movie.
Dude, honestly, bagels. The reason for every multiversal thing.
Yeah, if you haven't
whole-
watched Everything Everywhere All at Once and you don't know the truth of the everything bagel, you won't understand Spider-Man and Across the Spider-Verse.
I don't believe you. Anyway, so, like, did they have to fix stuff? My question is, he has been Spider-Man for a while.
A year.
If they didn't have to really fix anything, and yet he wasn't supposed to be Spider-Man,
So you're asking
Like
why
his
they didn't
canon-
show up and kill him.
his canon
Doesn't exist.
doesn't exist.
And you figured out the movie. Saving his dad won't matter.
Yep.
I guess I'm confused.
My question is, why wouldn't Miguel take that into account?
With his dad.
He's so sure that he's going to ruin stuff.
But you're saying he
But
doesn't technically
but the universe
exist.
technically, his universe is already ruined canon-wise.
Peter would have already gone through the canon events in Miles's universe when he was Spider-Man, before he died in the first movie. Spider-Man
Thanks.
had already lived the canon events.
But so why wouldn't Miguel have figured all this out? That's my question.
Because
that's my question.
he's-
That's my beef. Because he's supposed to be this really smart spider.
No, Dr. Otto Octavius is the smart spider. That's why he's
kept
the
expecting
superior
You mean
Spider-Man.
superior.
Right.
Yes.
Superior spider.
Dude, yeah, that's coming soon. This is going to be a long episode.
That's fine. I've got nothing to do tonight. Just kidding, Amanda. I saw it. Definitely going to show up to the lake house tonight if you listen to this. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
shout out to Amanda.
Our one
Thanks for
listener.
letting
Yes,
us
thank
borrow
you.
them again. She's like, oh, I got a break.
Hey, now we got a name for our listener.
It's Amanda.
It's
For
Amanda.
sure. She's actually,
She will.
yeah.
She asked if we had published yet, so it's true.
Yeah,
It's
she
true.
asked
From the
me.
like one or two times that you guys have like. it's
We're like
once,
we're
right?
like almost BFFs.
Dude, she is like Will, but if Will was actually genuine about wanting to be friends with anyone,
Yeah.
she just,
Man, I feel that.
just crap on Will for a second. Just kidding.
Pat's like, oh, that was too real for this podcast.
She's literally like, I'll be like at home and I'll be, oh yeah,
issues.
Chris texted me or whatever. That was just this week, right?
yeah.
And oh yeah, Chris texted me. What did he say? Read me everything. I want to be friends. It's like, oh my god, okay.
I mean, she has a great podcast voice, though.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, she's awesome. Whatever.
I like that you're like, oh no,
She's
I,
great.
I
Oh.
admitted it. Cut that. Cut that.
All right. She's all right.
So, okay. So that's your big beef is why does Miguel care if he knows that technically Miles shouldn't even exist?
Yes, that's my beef.
That's a
I
good
feel like
That's
he's-
actually a decent question.
I really feel like he should be smart enough to realize that it shouldn't matter.
Maybe he's
for
just
Miles.
crazed because he blames Miles for all of his problems.
Well, can I ask a question?
I won't know the answer, but go for it.
Well, that's what, because I think that he might.
He pointed at me, I think.
Yeah. The issue that was it from the TBR
Okay.
to be read. I don't know. I hear the Amanda throwing that out when they talk about.
We don't say
books.
things like
I
that.
don't know. I didn't know. You know the acronyms.
Yeah, those things.
When you got a podcast, you got to have acronyms.
Yeah.
We do?
So from the read list, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
You didn't know that?
No.
From our pull list. Pull lists are what you subscribe to. Anyway.
So the issue that was Spider-Man 2099.
Yep.
I know of him.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
It did in the first panel where is it Lila?
Maybe. I think maybe.
His hologram.
His hologram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it talked about him. Oh, his DNA. He was trying to recreate Peter Parker's DNA or something like that, and in a twist of events, his DNA was replaced with 50% spider DNA. Miguel looked a little off. Is he not completely
So, what I don't remember everything about Miguel O'Hara. I used to know more about him, I feel like there was a time where I feel like I knew quite a bit about Spider-Man 2099, but it's stuff I don't remember as well now. But I want to say that he isn't quite the same as normal Spider-Man. There are some issues with it somehow. But I don't.
I mean, they
don't
kind
know.
of did foreshadow.
I mean,
something
they
'cause
said he's a vampire in the movie,
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you
and he
see
went to
him-
bite the vulture's neck in that one thing, and he's taking shots.
Yeah, you saw him inject something, but they never talked about it.
But dude,
Right.
also
Hemoglobin.
Oscar Isaac played him. Okay, Oscar Isaac played him. And I saw a hilarious meme for you, Nick. Right? Okay.
I can't get enough.
And
of
it
him.
talked about Oscar Isaac creating his own multiverse because he's in Star Wars and Dune, and he was Apocalypse in the X-Men, and he's Moon Knight in Marvel. And so he has his own nerd multiverse. He's in everything. And that's
cool.
That's crazy, but he was so good, man.
That whole movie was great.
It was. And I when people ask if I thought it was better than the first, I wouldn't say it's better because it does feel different, but it's definitely different enough that I could see some people liking it better as a
Sure.
movie. Yeah. Just like saying well, do you think that Endgame is better than Avengers? You're well, they feel very different, but whatever.
So, yeah, I knew Oscar Isaac voiced him. But then also I read that issue this morning from the read list.
Yeah, the 2099.
And I was like, well, he looks normal. White guy, brown hair. That's not what he looked like in the movie.
No,
He looks like Oscar Isaac in the movie.
well,
But a little...
don't you think they tweak it a little bit for some of the
I mean,
characters to the actor,
yeah.
I think? Yeah.
Hobie does not look like Hobie in the comics.
Not at all. But the actor that voiced him, I could see it a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
More of that vibe.
Spider-Pig definitely does not look like Spider-Pig from
Are you
the
talking about
Simpsons.
Spider-Ham?
Sorry, Spider-Ham does
Okay,
not
Peter
look like...
Porker.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm kind of disappointed that
I really-
Lego Spider-Man didn't show back up.
I really, really feel like I need to read that series of comics with Spider-Ham because it sounds like
It
it's
is-
chocked full of jokes I would love.
I think
Yeah.
you would like it. And as a young man, just a wee child,
You?
back in the day, when I first started collecting comics,
Back in the late 1900s.
in the late 1900s, and I had gotten into comics, and my dad and I would go to collectible shows, and he'd let me pick some. They'd be like, "Oh, pick 10 for $5 or whatever," and he'd let me get some. I would usually pick out Spider-Man comics. That was a big one. I had some Flash, had a couple of Batman, but most of my comics were Spider-Man. And that's one of the things. This is jump-started the love of Spider-Man I have again. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was never a more disappointed youth reading my comic when I would get to the end and the last like 5 pages would be a Spider-Ham short. I hated. It was like that Howard the Duck feel, like definitely not for my age group, like probably satirical, so Pat would like it. I hated Peter Porker because I was like, I had to sacrifice 5 pages of a comic I was enjoying so they could butt shovel Peter Porker into my life. And I hated that guy. Into the Spiderverse redeemed him for me a little bit. I could accept him a little more now.
Sound like my grandparents getting through the Sunday paper. They're just like, you know what? I hate it when I get to Calvin and Hobbes.
I like Calvin and Hobbes.
No.
As you can
Friggin'
tell,
ruins the whole paper.
Did anybody else have something they didn't like about the movie?
I mean, not really. They had Spider Pig, which was in the first one.
Spider-Ham, bro.
yeah, Spider-Ham, bro.
Hambro. They didn't have Noir Spider-Man.
Yes, they did. He was standing by
was
Spider-Ham in the last scene.
But
Was
did he talk?
No, none of them really did.
Right, because they could not afford
To bring Nicolas
Cage.
Cage for a 5-second scene.
Well, which is surprising because normally he'd be like, "I do it."
No, it's everybody from the first movie plus Hobie and Spider-Bite
Yeah.
in the final scene with Gwen. I think that's who it is.
Oh, you said except for Spider-Bite.
No, she's there. She's there on the house. I know yeah.
Then you questioned
No,
what she
no.
would...
I do. I think that she saw that it was 42, but I also think she didn't tell them when they went to go get him in his dimension.
Oh, because they would immediately send her. Gotcha.
Yep. Because she could have told them where to go for Miguel to go get him, and she didn't. So I think it might have been both. I think she let him go, but then she didn't help them go get him.
She's big braining this mission
I think so.
for the second movie.
I think she is. But I'm already hyped for the second movie.
I wonder if any of them are taking a towel.
Stop with your 42s.
I have to.
I know. Got to get that
Douglas
thumb
Adams
up.
stuff going. 'Cause
I know. Good old
Hitchhiker's
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So, I don't remember who. Oh, it's when Gwen says, like, she says something to her dad that's super, like, kid to dad thing.
Bratty.
Bratty. That's the word I was looking for. I literally elbowed my daughter and was like,
Watch your coaster.
Oh man,
that reminds me of somebody because it's like something that my daughter had
You straight
said
up said
before.
that in the
I
movie
did.
theater.
And you should have, well, I looked at her face before I did it and she knew, man. She saw herself in that moment. And then when I have to share this. This is a really endearing, like, father moment. When they make up at the end, when he's like, I already quit, and she hugs him. My daughter leaned over and she hugged me and goes, I love you so much, Dad. I kid you not.
But didn't she technically break canon?
Because her dad's not the captain anymore?
Yes.
No.
She did not do that.
No, because he chose that.
Oh, I
Well, I
also
understand,
dude,
Which
dude,
was messed up because someone else is going to die.
But here's the thing. I also realized, we're pointing at each other. We're doing the Spider-Man. Okay. There's something else I wanted to ask you guys if you noticed, because I didn't think about it the first time we watched it. And I didn't really think about it the second time we watched it. I thought of it this morning.
Second time you watched it.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for the
I
invite.
almost text you guys to be like, you want to see it again? I'm going. But you know how they're sitting at their little overlook and she's like, yeah, anytime a Gwen falls in love with a Spider-Man, it usually doesn't end well. And he scooted away.
Yes.
I noticed something and I want to know if it was super intentional by them. But in the scene, in the India spider scene, okay? When he shows up and she gets kicked in the face by Spot and falls, when he catches her Gwen Stacy style. It's like center mass, like right on her torso, and she like leans back. I noticed that and I was like, it's like the Peter Gwen Stacy kill catch.
Miles catches her.
Yes.
Okay, so
Miles caught her that way because he's like, I got you. And he webs her and it hits her like right in the center.
So much stuff was going on. I didn't even.
So I picked up on that. I didn't realize it had any meaning.
Well, no, like when Gwen dies in the comic, she falls and Peter catches her like that exact same way. But she's not a Spider-Man for one. And two, she fell probably further maybe. But
Spider
like
person. Thank you very much.
Spider-Mans. Continue. Spider they.
Spider them.
Spider
them. But no. And I wondered this morning, I was like taking a shower thinking about this, and I was like, was that a moment that they broke then? Or is that alluding to the fact that
Like a canon moment?
Yes. But here's the thing. Was that a secret foreshadowing? Here's my fan theory, right? We talked
You
about
don't do
fan
these.
theories.
No, he doesn't listen to
No,
them.
I don't
He comes
listen
up
to them. But the question is then, if she falls in love with him, is she doomed because she's Gwen?
Not if she has a gun.
Oh.
She can break the whole canon.
If she has a cannon, she could break a cannon. But no, but like it showed like a falling...
Mind blown.
Because here's the question. Does a falling Gwen always get caught the same way by a Spider-Man?
Listener, you got some homework to do.
Yeah, so email us at longbox@guyswithissues.com. Whatever
Yeah. Amanda,
inserted.
you got to look this up.
Amanda, Amanda doesn't even like superhero stuff that much.
If a Gwen falls in New York, is Spider-Man around to hear her next snap?
Oh, man.
That turned dark.
It was too true. No, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had him catch her the way that Gwen gets caught.
Because he doesn't have a Gwen?
No. She's his Gwen.
Oh, no, I guess, yeah.
She's his
Whatever-
only romantic
Whatever
interest.
Gwen Stacy from his universe would have been affiliated with.
The previous Peter. And he would have already lived the canon events.
I mean,
you know-
some guys are into older girls. We can still be
You know,
around. We can still kill her.
that
I mean,
really,
she is older than him.
that really extends the whole "my girlfriend's in Canada" trope, doesn't it? Yeah, my
like it.
girlfriend's in
She
another,
moved to-
another
oh.
dimension.
Yeah, I hang out with Peter. Well, he moved away. Gwanda, she moved away.
Gwanda's from Saskatoon.
Yep.
South Africa, man. South Africa.
Cut all that I just said. That was a
Don't.
terrible Canadian accent.
It's
I didn't even know you were doing it.
I tried to for a second.
That's how bad it was.
Real sorry for trying to do that.
Sorry, Canada.
Okay, I could hear it.
I'm just
there a
doing
little bit.
Minnesota now.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, I could pick that up.
Well, if you say A, it makes it Canada. If you don't, that's Minnesota.
A.
I knew that was
Yeah.
Minnesota.
approach. But I wonder if there's a Minnesotan Spider-Man somewhere.
Sure. There's a lot of universes.
What I know is they didn't cover it in the comics we read.
They really wouldn't have a lot to swing from.
He was bit by a
I know.
radioactive
That's
cheesehead.
when I that'd be Wisconsin.
Where is Minnesota?
Right next to Wisconsin.
Okay.
Okay, listen.
You're close.
What did you just say?
I said he wouldn't have a lot to swing from.
So when I was a kid and I used to be like, I wish I was Spider-Man. As I got older, I was like, it'd be terrible where we live.
Oh yeah,
Did you watch?
Spider-Man has to have a metropolis.
No. You'd be like telephone man, swinging for
Telephone
poles.
poles.
You could only follow the road.
Well, did you watch the movie thinking the same thing? Like, what's he swinging from? And there's all these tall buildings around. In the scene, they are like set way to the right, way to the left, and he is just into nothing.
The old cartoons are the same way.
The old games,
The games,
literally
that's what
went
I'm
to
thinking.
nothing. But the new games,
Because I
they
didn't
always
think
anchor.
about. Oh, I didn't think about it like when I was playing the games like back in the day. I was just like, oh man, this is cool. It's open world. You can go
was-
anywhere. And it's like,
That was
Spider-Man
Yeah.
2 changed it though. Like it had
Groundbreaking,
that. Like, by the way, if you guys play the Spider-Man PS5 game, it's on PC now. They ported it. But
You also have
the
a
Amazing
PS5.
Spider-Man
You
game.
don't have to look at me and say that.
No, but I'm saying they just recently ported it. I don't think they've ported the Miles Morales game yet, the sequel. But they announced. Did you guys see the trailer to the sequel, Spider-Man?
No.
So the map's like twice as big, and you can hot swap like GTA 5 style between Peter and Miles.
That's dope.
And
That is cool.
And Peter has the symbiote, and you fight Craven. And you need to watch the 10-minute gameplay trailer because it looks crazy.
Man, I've been craving that fight.
Oh.
Oh man, but it's been a good episode.
I mean, I didn't know going in. There's either some crazy twist at the end.
To be continued next week in issue 9, part 2.
You can catch the new issue of Guys with Issues each week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
Or check out our website at guyswithissues.com where you can listen, find reading lists to follow along, and get to know us better.
You can also find us on Instagram at guys_with_issues and on Facebook at Guys with Issues.
Send us emails to longbox@guyswithissues.com and tell us your thoughts. Send us suggestions on what we should read next. We would love to hear from our listeners.
I would never gatekeep anyone from liking something.
I'm definitely cutting that out.
Right, definitely cut that out.
I'm going to cut out the not part. I would definitely gatekeep.
I would definitely.
Is that why he's sitting
Gatekeep.
at he's sitting
No,
at
I
the
don't
door?
do it like that. Like I'll butt him up and smooth it out.
I gatekeep everything.
And now you don't have to.
Anyway,